Hey guys, okay, this is the day we're going to talk about metal roofs. How to measure metal roofs. Let's see. Oh, here's my marker. Okay, so shingle roofs are much easier for the salespeople, and the crew's real good with them. Metal roofs, some people won't. There's advantages. They cost more. They're good roofs if they're put on right. But to put them on right and put them on in a decent amount of time and with less frustration and no confusion, we need to have a plan. We need to have a step-by-step plan how to get these roofs measured so that way we can get the proper material, proper lengths, proper trim, so the roof goes on smooth, flawlessly, and without problems. So, Daniel's Roofing, this is June 2023. Here we go. Let's pretend we have a roof that looks like they're making fun of me in the other room. But hey, that's okay. I'm the one teaching, not them. Okay, this is the roof right here. This is like if you're looking at it from the top, from a satellite or up high from a tree above the roof. So when we go up on the roof, we're going to go. Now, this is this shape roof. If the roof is different, obviously it's going to be different, but it's still the same concept. So we're going to go up on the roof, up on the ladder safely. We're going to take a crayon, yellow, white, some kind of crayon. Now let me go back a little bit. When you first go out to give the customer a price, you're not doing all this. You're only going to measure the roof just like you would for the shingle roof. And then you're going to give the customer a price for shingle, and you're going to give them a price for metal. And many times people choose shingle when they hear the difference. So, but now if you know you're going to do a roof and it's going to be metal, then we have no choice. But this is what we do. So this would be your second visit to the roof. Okay? You're going to go up on the roof and you're going to measure from the edges every 3 feet. And you're going to make a little mark on the ridge cap area. Every 3 feet, all the way across the roof. Okay? Can you guys see that? I think you can. Let me get a little closer. Like this. Okay. So, what you're going to do, if this is the main street, and let's say this is the driveway, most focal point is going to be coming from here. So that means that you will see the house mostly from the street, from the public, from this side. unless the wind is coming in from the other side, etc. Those are the things that sometimes you need to decide how the metal is going to go on. So once you decide how the metal is going to go on, meaning this way, start here or start here, depends on how you're going to overlap. If you want the roof to be the most pretty from this side, then you want to start on the opposite side. You're going to start on this side, because as you start here, the metal's going to overlap, 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 overlap. Okay? So you're going to come in here and you're going to measure every 3 feet here. 36 inches from the edge. So technically those marks would be started from here. But we decided the street's from here. We're going to start on this side. But looked out, it looks like we got 36 inches here. Let's pretend that right here, whenever we started measuring from here, we get to here, we get to here, and then right here we're going to have a half a piece. We're not going to have a full sheet. We're going to have like 18 inches or 12 inches or something like that. Okay, so you're going to go from here and you're going to go 36, 6 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, so forth. Okay, you're going to measure from here to here. You're going to draw a box on your piece of white paper. You're going to draw a box. You're going to draw another box, another box, another box, another box. And you're going to measure from the top of your ridge cap minus about 1 inch. Especially if you're going to have a ridge vent. You can have a ridge vent on the metal roof. And then you're going to overlap this metal about only 1 inch past the roof if you're going to have a gutter. If there is no gutter, you're going to go over the edge about 2 inches. How do you determine what the length here is? Well, let me explain a little more. Let's pretend this is our roof here. Okay? When you look at this roof, the distance from here to here, let's say it is 125 inches. So that's a little bit more than 10 feet. Usually they're going to be a little bigger than that. Okay? And then you're going to decide that there's going to be a gutter, or there already is a gutter. Okay? So you want the metal to just go into the gutter about 1 inch, no more. Now, another thing is this roof here is going to get wood slats. Okay? Every 30 inches from the bottom. So our numbers are going to be, now this is part of the installation. You don't have to worry about that, but I need you to know about this because the way you measure the roof, the metal, it's going to make a difference. So these are going to be every 30 inches. So it's going to be 4, 34, 64, 94, 124, 154, all the way up the roof. Well, I went a little too far here. I only went to 124. But what I want you to understand is when you add wood here, these slats, hope you can understand this. When you add wood, you have to measure a little more than the original flat roof because now you're higher. When you're higher here, your metal is going to be just a little bit longer than it would be as if it was on the original flat roof. Because it changes just a little bit. When you go up away, like this here, when you go up, let me see if I can draw this a little better because it's confusing. Okay, look, let's say this is 125, right? But look what happens when you put a piece of wood here. A piece of wood here. Here's your center. So you see that little triangle? Oh. See that little triangle? Hey, Patrick, I need some battery here. My phone's going low. Hook me up with a battery. Can you guys see what I did there? Plug me in here. Let's see if we get a little bit of battery juice. Oh, that's the wrong one, Austin. Give me the white cord. Oh boy. I don't know if we got juice or not. I gotta make this bigger. I want you to understand something. Here's our roof. If this is 125, okay, here's the center. If we put a piece of wood here, see, we can't just measure from here. We got to add a little bit for this triangle. So you have to imagine where that's going to go. So now you measure from here down past the gutter 1 inch. So you have to add an inch or so depending on the pitch. Because this here, when you put that wood there, there's a triangle created here. You guys see the difference? From here to here, all of a sudden this line here is bigger. Okay? I hope, if you guys have questions about this, because this is pretty important, because we've had a couple times where the roofs were measured out and we were short. And then you have to then either go to oversized ridge cap or you have to order new metal, and that's expensive. So that's pretty important. If you have a question about that, please let me know. Okay, so we decided we're gonna go this way. So we decided what our additional inches are. So if this is 125, now when we measure from here to here with the 1 inch overhang and that little extra for the for the pitch. Now we're going to call it 127 inch. 127 inches. So all of these here are going to be 127, unless they're not. And then a lot of times we can number them in case they're different. So all this here is easy. All these are going to be 127. So if I had this roof here, I would just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 at 127 inches. Okay, right here. But you got this one on the end. It's going to be not 3 feet. It's only going to be, say, 12 inches. But you still have to have it, right? So we better count this one too. So let's make this 20. Okay, 20. So that'll cover 20 pieces at 127. This piece that gets cut off in the long ways, sometimes it can be used here or here, depending on which side you're going. But let's not count on it. If we have to get one more sheet, so be it. Let's just figure this side here, we're going to need 20 sheets at 127 inches. So now why do we do all this? Because when we get to the valleys here, you see here, right here, and here, and here. Okay, those pieces do not need to be 127 inches. That'd be just a waste. But this one here, most likely, if the house is symmetrical and level and even, it's going to be also 127. So those are 127. 127. All the way through. This one here on the corner, the longest part is also 127. But now this one, it's going to be a little less. So this one might be 120. And then you add a couple inches. Or sometimes even 5 inches, depend how accurate you are. This might be 80 inches. This might be 50. Okay? And then this here is going to do the same thing. Okay, same thing. So these here, when you're going to make a shopping list, material list from this picture. You're going to provide a list for the crew. For the store that we're going to use for the crew also. So when the crew sees 80 inches, they know it goes right here. Let's see. Hard to see, but here's 80 inches. Okay, and then you whenever you do this one, you always start at the edge. Every 3 feet. Okay, with a little crayon, chalk, something visible. Same thing here. Okay. This is 114. So you measure already with the little overhang. 114, 114, 114. But you get to this one, you do the longest piece plus a few inches. So this might be 112 still. This might be 80, and this might be 50. Okay. So you fill all this in, and then you're going to count all your sheets that are 127, and you're going to make a list. So this is 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 plus 20, so 34 at 127 inches. Color, make sure you get the color on here. Let's call it call it gray. Dove gray. Dove gray. And you want all your numbers, everything legible, good. Hopefully better than my handwriting here. Because we don't want to make a mistake, because if we do, then the material goes not used for the roof. Okay, so also this here is valley. You measure from here to here. If the distance from here to here is less than 20 feet, then you can do one continuous piece. Because all the trim pieces come in 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20 only. That's the only sizes. Trim pieces. Okay. 10 feet, 12 feet, 14, 16, 18, 20. We have several trims. Okay. We have a valley pin, which kind of looks like this. That's a valley pin. Valley pen. We have, so these here go here. Okay. If this is 14 feet, or 14.5 or so, I would get 16. Go up a little higher so the guys have plenty material. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3 is 21. So 120 foot piece of ridge cap will not do it. So in this case, you can probably measure this, and you can do a 12 and a 10 feet cap for here. Let's see how long this is. 1, 2, 3, okay, it's 20, right? 20 times 3, 60 feet. You could do 16 footers. Let's see, get my calculator. You know, 20 feet is hard to work with. It's too big, but for ridge cap, they're hard to handle, they'll bend. But 60 feet divided by, let's call it 16, 3.75. So you could do, because they're going to overlap. And they're going to start here. They're overlap this way, that way you don't see the seams from the street. So for here, I would do ridge cap. Ridge cap 5 at 16 feet. 5 times 16. Whoa, that's too much. 4? 4 at 16. 4 times 16. 64. That's it. That's our ticket. That's what we want. You guys get it? 4 at 16 is going to give us a little overlap, and that's going to put us right where we need to be. So ridge cap here is going to be 4 at 16. Okay. So we got this ridge cap, we got this one. These eave trim. Eave drip, I'm sorry. Eave drip, that's what they call it mostly. Eve drip. Eve drip is same thing as drip edge on your shingled roof. It's the same thing, but a little thicker metal, a little bigger. Same thing, they come in big sizes all the way up to 20, but you don't really want 20. So that's too much. Now rakes, you want them long as possible because those look really bad when you connect them. They're better just one piece. So Eve drip, 60 feet. Let's see, I'm using my calculator. 60 feet divided by 12, 5. That's okay, 5. 5 at 12 feet will be exactly 60 feet, right? Well, 60 feet would be like stick, but the pieces for Eve drip are usually 2 inches and linear feet longer. So it's going to be 12 feet and 2 inches. And if we're not sure, we can double check that with the store whenever you order. So if we do 5 at 12 feet, we're going to have 10 inches extra for all the overlaps. So as we start from here to here, and actually, you know what? We'll be safe because this here was just a little bit less than 60 feet. So, yeah, so right here, Eve trim goes all on the bottom. Now it doesn't go here. That's where the rake corners go. On the shingle roof, you would have it there, but not on the metal roof. So they only go on the bottom. And that's why they call it Eve drip. So it's at the bottom of the eave. So it's not just drip edge anymore. It's only for eaves. So you would have it here and you would have it here. Eve drip. See it right here? Because that's metal's coming down. That's the eve. How many feet is this? 1, 2, 3, 3 panels right here. Makes it 9 feet. So let's get a 10 feet. Okay. Same thing here. 10 feet. Eve drip. Easy. Okay, so you got valleys. Let's say this is 14 feet. So we'll do, let's see, let's call it 14 feet and 5 inches. So we'll call it 16 feet. You got 1, 2 times, or 2 at. 2 at. Two at 16 feet. 16, yeah, okay. Okay, so this is going to be basic. Basic metal roof measure. Okay. If you have a pipe here, the guys are going to cut out an opening in the pipe and they'll put can't draw it. It's gonna be MF. They call it an MF3, which also basically means it's a pipe boot. and that goes on top of the pipe for here. Okay, so okay, let's add a little more information while we're doing it. Each situation is going to be a little different, but let's say you have a dormer somewhere, and you have to put in flashing. I'd say this is the roof.
These are the updates.
Okay.
It says.
Here's the dormer. Okay, so right here, sometimes you have siding or you have other material that you cannot take off easily. So about 4 or 5 years ago, what I come up with is it's called a box sidewall. And it looks like, it's just like a regular sidewall, but instead of going up, all the way up, it goes up just a little bit, about 1 inch, goes to the right, about 3/4 of an inch, and comes down maybe 1 inch, or actually 1.5. Okay? This is called box sidewall. And if you didn't draw it like this, it kind of looks like that. So that, here's your metal. Here, you put your metal right here. This here, this sidewall would, there's these little ribs, you know, for the metal. This lip here overhangs this, the rib, the top part of the rib, and then it goes against the wall. It's like a pressure bend. This here is like a pressure bend. And we silicone right here on the top. And it prevents water from going in. This here prevents us from having to cut siding. So this here's been a good solution for that. And you can do this with chimneys. Sometimes we can cut them, you know. If you have a specific question about any of this, Anthony, I can help. The store, the supplier can help us. So we're here to help you, but I needed you guys to understand these basics, because we got to get this right if we're going to do metal roof for a customer. So we want it looking good, and I don't know, we've done hundreds of these metal roofs already, hundreds. And once in a while they're a little bit challenging, but most of the time we can handle them. So it is a lot more work, it is a lot more difficult than a shingled roof for our guys. But if that's what the customer wants, then we're roofers, we can provide them with that. Okay, hope this video helps. Leave a comment or a question below. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this little short, long video. And I appreciate all of you guys helping us. And yeah. Take care, guys.